You're listening to an encore presentation of Life Talk with Wade Sorochan. Highlights of previous shows featuring special guests and open line discussions. Since this is a pre-recorded presentation, please do not call. And now, Life Talk with Wade Sorochan on AM 930, The Light.
We're talking with Companies Coming founder Cjca Perry. And big event coming up tomorrow. It's Companies Coming Cookbooks Scratch and Dent Sale, where you can get up to 80% off the best-selling cookbooks. It's from 9 until 3 tomorrow, and you can meet Cjca Perry. It's at 23rd Avenue and 96th Street. And just go to the website, companiescoming.com, for more information. And Cjca, you've done these sales before in the past. I know they're very popular.
Oh, yes, they are. We keep getting inquiries. When's the next one? And, they're really something to see. People go out with huge boxes of books. Well, they don't go out with them. Our staff carry them out to their car. And
there's nothing wrong with the books, right?
Oh, no, that's true. Now, there will be some that will have a scratch on them.
Okay.
There's some that you can hardly even tell, and depending on the book. Yeah, they truly are scratch and dent, but they're very usable. And
tell us about your partnership this weekend with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation.
Well, with this up to 80% off of the books, we have a special discount on our diabetic cooking and diabetic dinners. The two books that are just, I can't tell you if they're together or if they're separate. I should know that, but I just don't remember that.
Okay, so two books. You have diabetic cooking and diabetic dinner. Now, yes. Is the diabetic dinner one to be eaten at lunchtime? I'm just kidding.
Well, you can just choose whenever you're the most hungry.
Sure.
Yes. And we do have some of the 30-minute diabetic cooking also, but we work with the junior diabetes, and the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation is the proper name, and a portion of the proceeds from the sale will be donated to them. Mm-hmm. And it's certainly very important.
Sure, and tomorrow is World Diabetes Day as well.
Yeah, it's just a great day to be doing such a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes. So it's a great way for people to get some of those books, like the classic ones that we were talking about, 150 Delicious Squares, or maybe you're looking for muffins and more and you can't find it anywhere. Well, you can go to the Scratch and Dent sale tomorrow, up to 80% off the best-selling Companies Coming cookbooks, and you can meet Cjca Perry. Cjca, when you meet people, what do people usually say to you when they meet you?
Well, it's such a fun time for me because they usually say what their favorite book is and what they like about a certain book and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Depending on how crowded it is, it depends on how long I can talk to one person.
Sure.
And it goes in spells, where I can have quite a good visit. And I have really had some good visits with people.
Yeah, great. All right, Cjca, I'm going to ask you this question because I'm also going to ask my listeners this for copies of 150 Delicious Squares and your biography, An Appetite for Life, your inspiring story of your life by Judy Schultz. Your cooking or baking disaster story that comes to mind that you can share with our audience.
Well, the one that comes to mind, it was the worst one in a way. It was when I was doing some testing for the first soup book, the Soups and Sandwiches.
Yep.
And it took me a while to learn because I would make a whole pot of soup, and then I would add a spice to it, and it ruined the whole pot. So after doing that the second time, I finally smartened up. I divided the soup into 4. And then added a little bit of spice of different kinds to it so that I would see which one I liked.
Ah.
And we've had a lot of laughs over that, how it took me even twice to learn what to do.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear that you're not perfect.
No.
I was talking with your staff today, and I said, how many total books are out there? Different series of the books, and they said it's somewhere over 200, between 200 and 215.
Well, yes, except that they're not all out there now. We've had to retire many because no way could we afford to keep that kind of stock. And,
yeah.
And then stores don't give you that much space to show them either.
Yeah. But tomorrow would be a good chance to maybe get some of those ones that they can't find in stores, right?
Yes, they're definitely, because once we retire a book, then we no longer ship to stores.
Yeah. Okay, so the best place to get it is right from your warehouse.
Yes, that's true. And thankfully, we haven't got any snow or anything, so
yeah, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, it sure is.
Well, we look forward to it tomorrow. Again, it's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can meet Jean Perry, get up to 80% off the best-selling Companies Coming cookbooks. Jean, really appreciate your time on the program today. Thank you for doing this.
You're very welcome.
All right, that's Jean Perry, Companies Coming founder. Great Alberta story there. Great Alberta story. And a lot of cookbooks have been sold, but like she said, over 200. You have to retire some. You can't keep that stock out there. But if you're looking for that, maybe Muffins and More, very popular one. The 150 Delicious Squares, you can get them autographed by Jean Perry tomorrow from 9 until 3 p.m. Go to the website, companiescoming.com. All right, well, you heard Jean Perry's cooking disaster story when it came to soup. Want to hear yours right now because they did give us copies of 150 Delicious Squares. This is the revised edition. Everyday recipes trusted by millions. And packaged with this is Jean Perry, An Appetite for Life, the inspiring story of Canada's most popular cookbook author. This is a biography by Judy Schultz. And if you'd like to win these right now, you tell us your cooking or baking disaster story. 7, those stories you can look back now and laugh. Jean laughed about it. Haha, it's fun. Maybe at the time of, it was a disaster, but now you look back and say, you know what, I can laugh about it. So tell us what your cooking or baking disaster story. Maybe have more than one. 780-430-9300 or 1-877-827-2346. And I wrote down a list here of what I think common cooking or baking mistakes. I wrote down some common cooking or baking mistakes. And I'm just, we'll rattle these off my list here. And if you can come up with some of these on this list too, we'll give you a copy of that book as well. So common cooking or baking, just writing this down, mistakes. I got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What do you think? All right, calls are coming in. Again, we got a couple lines open, 780-430-9300 or 1-877-827-2346. Out to Thorsby. Let's say hi to Diane. Hello, Diane.
Hello.
Hi, hello there. How are you today?
I'm doing great today.
Okay, and you have a cooking or baking disaster story you would like to share with all of Alberta?
My disaster is making pies. I used to make pies with my mom all the time. My mom's passed away now, but we used to make pies all the time. And so I bragged about how good my pies were, and so I passed some pies on to some people in the church, and I forgot it was rhubarb strawberry pie, and I forgot to add the flour. All the pies were watery.
Oh, no. So you forgot the flour. That was one of on my list here of 9 things common, cooking or baking mistakes, leaving out an ingredient.
Yeah.
That's got to be like number 1 at the list, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's a great disaster story, Diane. I want to give you a copy of 150 Delicious Squares, the revised edition, and a copy of An Appetite for Life. This is the biography of Jean Perry for you as well.
Oh, wonderful.
You hold on the line 1 second, Diane, from Thorsby, and we'll get your information. All right, let's talk to Alice. Hello, Alice.
Hello there, how are you?
Hey, Alice, I'm doing well. Actually, Alice, if I felt any better today, I would feel like Vincent Schaefer on this day in 1946. Think about this. Produced history's first artificial snow in Massachusetts. Artificial snow dates back to 1946.
That's amazing.
And the reason I mention that because I thought it was more recent than that, but Snow Valley is actually opening up tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I got this note on email to me, and I said, wait a minute. There's no way that a local ski hill could be opening, but they've been making snow. I didn't think it's cold enough, but they're ready to open up tomorrow.
That's hard to believe when it's so nice outside.
I know. Anyway, Alice, are you going to share a cooking or baking disaster story?
I am. I made these beautiful pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving one year, and I don't know how it happened, but I used salt instead of sugar.
You know what? I wrote that down here as well. I put salt versus sugar. So that actually does happen, eh, Alice?
Yes, it did.
And how did that go over?
Not well, thank you.
Oh,
that hard work.
You know what? I'll bet you listening right now, there's people saying, you know what? They've been there, done that.
Probably.
Yeah. Wow. Do you have a favorite Companies Coming cookbook, Alice?
Oh, I use several of her books.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Muffins and More.
Muffins and More. Yeah, that's a very popular. She said that's sold over 1 million copies. Just that one book.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
Do you have the 150 delicious squares?
I don't know. I probably do.
Mm-hmm. Would you like?
I think I just about have every one of her books.
Well, that'd be over 200 if you did.
Well, then I don't have quite that many.
Yeah. Would you like to read her biography, An Appetite for Life?
I would love to.
Okay, and we'll package that with the 150 delicious squares that if you have it, you can pass it on to someone else and bless them with that.
I sure will.
All right, Alice, hold on line 1 second. We'll get your information. All right, let's talk to Gail in Sherwood Park. Hello, Gail.
Hi.
Tell us about your disaster cooking or baking story.
Okay, my disaster took place about 30 years ago when I was a newly married woman, and I was having my in-laws over. I was going to cook dinner for them, the first dinner that I'd ever cooked for them. And I cooked a beef roast, and I was going to make Yorkshire pudding. Mm-hmm. And when you make Yorkshire pudding, you put the pan drippings into muffin tins, and you heat them in the oven before you pour the batter in. Well, I think I heated mine too much because they caught fire. I had a huge fire in my oven.
Oh, no.
The smoke alarm went off, and needless to say, I was mortified because I had really wanted to impress my in-laws with my superior cooking skills, but
it didn't quite work out.
No, my husband got out the fire extinguisher and put the fire out.
Oh, man. But you can
Was
look...
that on your list?
No, I didn't have fire, but that's probably... I don't know how common that is, but...
That's burning things, right?
Just burning things. Well, I do have... what do I have here? Overcooking. You know?
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll probably fit.
Yeah, burning. We'll put that on the list. Gail, would you like a copy of Companies Coming 150 Delicious Squares and the biography of Jean Perry?
I would love that.
All right.
Thank you.
You hold on line 1 second. We'll get your information. Keep your calls coming. Hang in there if you're on the line right now. We'll get to your calls. More of your cooking or baking disaster stories here on Life Talk on AM 930 The Light.